this is where I went wrong. Good morning. Not a whole lot happening over here, just, me trying to feel a bit more rested than I am by drinking a whole canister of coffee. I did a bit of a weaning faux pas yesterday. More on that later, though. Let's just say there was a reaction that I was not expecting. I should have expected it. I should have. But, yeah, more on that later. Tomorrow is my 36th birthday. Woo! Or today, because that's when I'm posting this. I kind of want to give myself the gift of, chopping my hair off. The more my son rips my hair out, and yes, even when it is pulled back, the more I see the appeal of getting it shorter, but then I thought, my friend brought up a good point, I wouldn't be able to put it up if it was, too short. And, yeah, I don't know. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a few inches off. I haven't decided. Probably won't do that till sometime next month, though. I was kind of thinking of getting, I don't know, some low-maintenance highlights. Not anything super drastic. I would want it to look natural. I found a picture on Google that I thought was really good inspiration. Yeah, I was just thinking, give it some dimension, because it kind of looks flat. I don't know. It really depends on the cost, too. If it's going to be $1,000, I think I'll just deal with having flat-looking hair. Does anybody else struggle with that? I tend to just not go get my hair done. Ever. It's bad. I should get regular trims, because it's crap. It's truly crap. And I never get my nails done. Not that I grow them out or anything, and I like to keep them short for, working hands. I don't know. I should get pedicures, I should do this, I should do that, I should get regular haircuts, but then I see the price and I'm like, why would I spend the money on my hair when I could spend it on coffee? Anyway, none of that matters. Today, I am working on getting the raw edges of these sleep sacks serged. I'm just doing one of each style and kind of leaving the others raw for now. Like I said, there's about 50 or 60 new projects that are cut out, and I tend to make one of each just so I can have them photographed for the website. And then, if somebody buys the other one, then I just kind of fix it up in the moment. Just sort of helps with making it a little less daunting. These fleece ones are going to be priority, though. I would have to recheck, but I think these bigger ones are supposed to be able to fit up to 24 months. I do have a bunch of nice flannel cut out for the 0 to 12 month sleep sacks. Unfortunately, flannel just doesn't come very wide like fleece does, so I can only do the smaller size in the flannels. But I have tons of stuff in this size on the website already. I think this one's going to be super cute. It is about time to prepare Kieran's lunch and then put him down for a nap, so I will come back to my sewing after all of that. He's pretty hungry. I did prepare his meal, but I am waiting for the omelet to cool down a little bit.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that?
Just gonna take me some vitamins and some aspirin. I'll tell you what, mentally I don't feel mid to late 30s. I still feel like a really young, sometimes I feel like a teenager still. I don't know why. But my body feels old. And I know a lot of that is just, the chronic pain, the CIDP, all of that fun stuff. So I am feeling a little bit run down. Plus, I do think cycle day 1 is approaching, so that does remind me that I do want to start tracking luteinizing hormone, probably starting with this next cycle. Not that we're going to be TTCing anytime soon, but, I just want to get an idea of the days, you know what I mean? Just moving forward, because after Kieran's a year old, that's when we're really gonna get serious about it. But anyway, I made a weaning faux pas yesterday, and I think I think weaning has been going awesome for Kieran. He will pretty much eat anything that we offer him. Even non-food items, if you show it to him, he opens his mouth like, oh, do I get to eat that? It's so adorable, and I couldn't be more proud that my kid's just willing to try anything, and he's willing to try it multiple times. Like, I want to say it took 6 tries to get him to accept yogurt, because the first times he tried it, he'd be like, oh, like it was just this horrible, like that was the face he made. It was so funny. But eventually, you know, as I started putting other things in it, like blueberry, he'd be like, you know what, this isn't so bad. So I've been following this guideline on baby-led weaning. We also do like a mixture, like I do some purees and some baby-led weaning. We've been following a website called Solid Starts. It basically teaches you how to prepare solid foods, like real foods for your baby to try. And it tells you what ages. It tells you how to have a safe feeding environment. It's just all around like a gold mine for weaning. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description box for Solid Starts. But they have guidelines as far as like what sort of foods to introduce first, and, you know, introducing allergen foods, everything like that. He's already had peanut butter a few times, no reaction, so I think we're pretty good there. The one thing he definitely has not had, at least much of, is sugar. And the reason for that is I really wanted him to develop a palate for more bitter tasting foods, more savory tasting foods, more bland foods, so that, you know, later on when I do give him sugar, he still has a taste for those other things like vegetables and cheese and whatnot. There is a lot of issues with sugar in my family, namely diabetes, sugar addiction, like carb addiction. And for me, sugar and carbs tend to cause a lot of inflammation, like body-wide inflammation and pain. I realize that is definitely not the case for everybody, but with ADHD being a very prevalent diagnosis in my family, and, you know, dopamine seeking behaviors, a lot of, you know, eating behaviors that are seeking dopamine. Sugar just tends to be one of those foods that people, at least in my family and that I know with neurodivergence, it tends to be one of those foods that really supplies dopamine that can become very unhealthy. It can become dangerous. All that being said, random side tangent, of course, again, Kieran has had some natural sugars. He gets blueberries daily because they're just packed full of antioxidants, and I think he should have them. I do give them to him at the end of his meal, so he eats all of his other nutritious things before he gets the sugary stuff. Again, just so he's eating the other things and not rejecting them because he had the other flavor first. Does that make sense? So the mistake that I made was giving him a larger amount of fructose than he's ever had, and I gave it to him late in the day because I was thinking he doesn't seem to have a behavioral change after eating blueberries, and I figured, hey, strawberries, it's a lower glycemic index than blueberries. It's probably not gonna, you know, cause any behavioral change. And don't worry, I know about the current recall, and we did not get any of the brands that are currently recalled. So I went on to Solid Starts, and I was like, all right, that's the way I prepare the strawberry. I'm gonna put that on his plate, and we'll save that to the end of the meal. And I have never seen someone so violently enjoying a food in my life. He took a little taste, because I cut the tip off so you can get the flavor. And he took a little taste. He did his little that he does. And then after that, it was like a free-for-all. He went crazy, like trying to shove the whole thing in his mouth. He gummed that thing to death. His face was bright red with strawberry juice all over it. And then when it was finished, it looked like he was like looking for more. Where's the rest of it? So I gave him a whole strawberry after a whole meal. And I thought, wow, he really, really enjoyed that. Maybe I'll just give him another one. This is where I went wrong. Same thing. Like a vampire feeding. Gummed the whole thing, ate it all. And then after that, it was the most difficult experience trying to get him to nap. He has his afternoon nap. He did not really take that. I think he had maybe 15 minutes at best, and it was not very restful sleep. And then normally he goes to sleep around 7 p.m. And that poor child was just laying there awake with his eyes wide open like this. He laid there like that, just staring, wide-eyed, stirring constantly. And I just could not get that kiddo down. And then, Kameron tried for a while, and I went and ate something, and then we switched off. Kiddo did not finally fall asleep until 10 p.m. And my usual 12, 13 hour day with him turned into, I want to say, 15, 16 hours? But yeah, we finally got him down to sleep and spent, a few minutes together just kind of accepting defeat for that day. Then we drag ourselves up, go to sleep, and it's not very long that we're laying there and he wakes up and he's wide awake. Cracked out, wide awake. And he wasn't fussing or anything. He just was, cracked out. Eyes wide open, just kicking. He looked like he was running in his crib. Just running with his little legs. And, kind of rolling back and forth and screeching. He went from a harmless pterodactyl to a velociraptor in one feeding. I can't tell you when that started, but I know that it kind of ended around 4 a.m. And this kid has been sleeping through the night since 9 weeks old. He's never had the sleep regressions. The people were telling me about a 4-month sleep regression or something. He never had that. But my gosh, I got so spoiled by all those nice long stretches of sleep at night. I mean, every once in a while he'll wake up and he'll be hungry in the middle of the night or something, but that was something else. I realize how lucky we've been with him sleeping so easily through the night since real early age. I know that a lot of people go through this on a nightly basis, and bless you. That was a rough night last night. The only thing that sticks out to me that could have been the cause was the amount of sugar that he had from those 2 strawberries. And I think my solution is going to be either one of 2 things, or maybe I'll try both and see. Either I'm going to feed him strawberries or, a larger amount of fructose only early in the morning, when he has his oatmeal or something, put it in the oatmeal. Or just, I'm going to wait on fruit for a couple more months or something. It just feels like his little body couldn't handle all that energy. I am kind of curious though, is anybody else's kids just really affected by sugar? Even natural sugar, from a strawberry or, a pear or a peach or something? I want Kieran to have a healthy relationship with food. I don't want there to be foods that are off limits or bad or anything, because I think that creates just it creates a bad relationship with that food. But I also don't want to give him foods that are going to, give him a sugar high like a bat out of hell. I really should just, try the smaller portion thing and not give him 2 big whole strawberries just because he's really enjoying the dang things. I would love to hear from any parents who have a similar reaction in their children to fruits. What do y'all do? Do you save that stuff for breakfast only? Do you just not let them have that? Is that something that they have only once in a while? I'd love to know. I clearly do not have a strategy yet, but I would love to hear from anybody who does. How do you mitigate the hyperactivity caused by sugar, even natural sugar?